Hello, my name is Darren Lee. I'm the planner that has been assigned to Board of Zoning Appeals Case 2205V05, variance request for addition and shed at 481 Oaks Creek Avenue, Montrose, Virginia. Before we get started, I wanted to mention that the case has been properly advertised and direct mail notices have been sent to both adjacent property owners. We have received written correspondence from both of those adjacent property owners, which can be found in your packets. The next slide shows the site location. As you can see, the yellow arrow on the screen is pointed at the project area in the Horners Beach subdivision. Horners Beach is located approximately 8 miles from the closest commercial cluster at Oak Grove. The lot location slide shows a closer view of the property. As you can see, highlighted in light blue, the yellow arrow is pointing to the actual project area. As the applicant is proposing a 14 by 19 addition on the street side of the property, as well as a relocation of a shed on the property. As far as the property history is concerned, the house was constructed in 1956, according to the county property cards, and the current property owner has purchased the property in July of 2020. Since then, the most recent work that has been done on the property was in 2021 for a interior renovation and deck project. The current proposal is for an addition with a walk-in closet and master bathroom. The next set of slides we will look at will be for neighborhood characteristics. The next slide here shows the properties facing west towards First Street. And the next slide shows the properties facing east towards 3rd Street. And later on in the presentation, we will show some of the development patterns and just things that have occurred in the subdivision since its creation. The next slide here shows the proximity of the houses to each other. 481 Oaks Creek Avenue is the one that we're looking at, is the house with the yellow siding. And so we just wanted to show how close the houses were in this particular part of the subdivision or neighborhood. The following slide shows some of the characteristics of the property. This is looking at the water side part of the property now. As you can see, the drain field area and septic are located in the rear of the property. There are also some other site characteristics to be mindful of. In this photo, what I was trying to capture is the slope of the property. I think I did a good job of showing the slope on the property. It's usually hard to get the slope to show up in photos. You can't really capture it as well. But I think that this does give you an idea of the slope on the property. This image was submitted by the applicant, and this is what I was mentioning that shows some of the developments in this neighborhood, which shows a lot of accessory structures near the road. In this presentation, I wanted to be careful to talk about the street side versus the water side, as many people in this neighborhood have a lot of accessory structures near the road, So in the staff report, I used the terms street side and water side, even though what we're looking at in this particular case are what we call our front setbacks, which is actually the rear of a lot of people's houses. So that's a distinction that we need to make, as I want to talk about the actual issue of why we are here today, and the reason why it is necessary for this case to come before this board is because look at this layout in this next photo. It tells it all. Look at the yellow highlighted area. That is the proposed addition that would be placed on this house, and it clearly doesn't meet the setback requirements. If you look closely at the plan, you will see that it doesn't meet the setback. And also some other things that need to be mentioned about this project is that, there are some things driving the location of this addition. If you look towards the water side of the property, you will see the location of a drain field and septic system, as well as the Potomac River. which has a 100-foot buffer that comes up to about the midpoint of the house. And so there's also slope that was shown on one of the previous images. There are things that are driving, the location of this addition. Let's take a look at a few of the last images that were submitted by the applicant. As I mentioned, we would show the floor plan, specifically showing how everything will be laid out in the addition, showing the bathroom and the shower and all the other different parts of the addition. You can see that highlighted in yellow there. The last image that we have here is just another section view showing how the house from this perspective. As we get to staff recommendations, as mentioned in the staff report, we do believe that this application does have merit, that there are things that do make this a reasonable request. As already mentioned, there are physical features and logistics of the site. There were just mentioned about the the limitations of the drain field, the RPA and slope of the property, as well as the narrowness of the lot since it's only 50 feet wide. And as you look at the previous image, you can see that there is really no room that an addition could be built on the side just because of the narrowness of the lot. So that's the physical features. And then the neighborhood characteristics were also mentioned, that there are other places, near to this section of the neighborhood that have a lot of this type of development. And so if this variance was granted, the addition and the shed would be in uniformity with those other types of development in the neighborhood. At this time, I will make myself available for any questions that any of the board members have. And that's all of the comments that I have for you all today. Thank you.